Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Wednesday expert in front of the channel, Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I don't know if you heard my conversation on my daily financial news. It was yesterday or the day before, but basically, I think there is a real estate depression coming, and let me explain what I mean by that. The real estate industry is a industry that's based on commission, means a closed transaction. It's not one that's often done on listings or on appointments or on this or on that. It is an industry that is based on closed transactions. And you've probably heard me say that I think we are going to see a 20% fall in transactions this year. And ultimately, before it is all said and done, a 50% crash in transactions. I think the real estate industry, real estate agents and brokers, it is going to feel like a depression. And I wanted to bring this up with you because you are talking to buyers and agents and other brokers all the time. You have hundreds of conversations a week where maybe I have dozens. So am I being maybe too pessimistic? Could there be that many less transactions going out there? So hopefully you're going to tell me I'm wrong, because it kind of feels bad to say this. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think I agree with you to an extent, right? Where we've beefed up quite a bit on the mortgage side, especially 2020 and 2021, where we know for certain we're not going to write $4 trillion worth of mortgages in 2022, right? Mm-hmm. And 3.9-ish or somewhere around there for 20 and 21, almost got to 4 trillion in originations. Most folks' projections have that at like 2.6. And so with a 35% decrease, there's going to be less jobs. There's going to be the ones that are still, in the loan origination space, making less money. For me, I see it as an opportunity for the folks that remain in the business to get stronger, faster, more efficient, all those things that markets create, right? Like, yeah. Capitalism can be a really good thing where it's like, oh, only the best that are providing the most value are going to survive. Those that are providing little value and aren't efficient and don't do a good job, those folks no longer survive. Like, that's not a bad thing in my mind. I think it's probably partly true on the real estate side, where if a bunch of people jumped into real estate because, the real estate market was thriving, they're working part-time, they're not really doing a lot to educate themselves and get sharper and get better and add value to the end consumer. Should those folks be around next year? Probably not. For sure not, I guess. Like, so we're already seeing it largely on the mortgage side so far, right? Just like thousands of layoffs. And that's because we've just got too many people. We've beefed up for a market that's
doesn't exist. It's
right. Doesn't exist anymore. And so, I think you're right. I think 50% decrease in transactions to me sounds a little bit pessimistic. I guess you're thinking about, like, some of the supply destruction stuff where people aren't selling and moving as often, which there'll be some of that, right?
Oh, no, no question. There is no argument. There will be some of that. The question is, how much? Is there a lot of it? That's the question, right? I get notes all the time. Mike, you're absolutely right. I got a 2.9% mortgage on my home. I'm not leaving, right? They're going to have to carry me out feet first. That's a real thing. The Federal Reserve broke housing. To use seasons are real in the business cycle. What happened the last 2 years in the mortgage market is you took you did $4.3 trillion in originations. Black Knight, a very trusted source, put out some scary numbers I talked about today. 33% of residential loans are sub 3%.
Holy cow.
50% of residential loans are below 3.5. Sit on that for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, and do the math. All right, you want an extra bedroom. You do the math, the mortgage costs you an extra $1,000. You're like, screw it, get bunk beds. I mean, this is where we're at, people. I do think And again, there are seasons. And as you say, good times never last, bad times never last. The good times are over. Easy money's over. Bad times are here. The goal is to survive and thrive. I am not trying to be negative Nancy. I'm trying to be a realist. I'm trying to shock some of you to get your ass ready so you can thrive in what is coming. It was a great 2 years. I hope you save some money because the next 2 years are going to suck.
Yeah. I'll tell you an interesting story. Those of us that are surviving and thriving and doing business the right way and have a purchase based model and all that stuff, I'm hiring. So I sent out something before I just go out to LinkedIn or Indeed or something. I send it to my network. Hey, I'm hiring. Here's who I'm looking for. Great people. Who do you have? It's for an admin position. And I got some responses from realtors because 500 or 600 people in this database are real estate agents. And to your point, I got a couple of responses that I just looked at this morning. I'm no longer doing real estate. I do crypto mining. I no longer do real estate. I got a job. There was 2 or 3 of them at least where, doing something besides real estate, it's a function of, only X% of the agents are doing a majority of the deals. Yeah. And so when the market shrinks, those folks are going to have to find something else to do. But
if you've been in the real estate industry or the mortgage industry the last 2 years and you did no transactions, take that as a sign. It's a sign that you should do something else. Right. The last 2 years, again, easy money is done. It's over. Winter is here. I had videos 90 days ago saying winter is coming. Well, guess what, folks? Winter is here. I do think the mortgage industry and the real estate industry, it will feel like a depression. And hence, just like the Great Recession, what happened to builders? A lot of them went bust. A lot of carpenters suddenly got other jobs. They went back to their home countries. And we're still suffering. So if you can survive this, builders today are far more profitable, far stronger because they survived and thrived the Great Recession. So good times are coming. Unfortunately, we're just a couple steps into a couple of bad years.
Right. And to that point, I want to give people who are listening to this advice.
Please.
Some unsolicited advice. The best professionals who are in this all day, every day are like gold. A great real estate agent who has their finger on the pulse, make sure you're connected with one. If you need a referral to one, I've got a great network of great agents. Northern California, I'm going to know a lot more than any other part of the country, to be completely honest. But, you might connect with a great mortgage broker and then just say, who do you know in your market that's really good? Because to our point about how things are changing, I tried to look at pending home sales and I couldn't get any numbers that were relevant to what's going on right now. So anybody who's not actively doing business, actively studying the market and in the market, truth be told, doesn't know. And I tell people all the time, Bill's not bad. Sarah's not bad. They just don't know, right? They might be giving out bad advice with no ill intention. They just don't understand, right? Like I made all these calls yesterday and I said the phrase so many times because I left a lot of voicemails. I'm just trying to have real estate conversations. And I'm trying to talk to agents I don't even work with, to say, what are you seeing on your listings? And I'm hearing the same stuff. Like entry level market in Sacramento has been on absolute fire. 15, 20 offers, a bazillion over ask, first child given, no contingencies. Now I'm getting stories of, well, we got slightly above ask, but we only got 2 offers. We got 3 offers, right? The market's not collapsing and the 550 house isn't selling for 420, but it's different, right? It's changed. And so it's more important than ever. And I preach this in all markets. Right now, it's ultra important. A professional who knows what they're doing. As an investor, you probably want to work with an agent who happens to own rental properties, who happens to know a thing or two about what to look for in an investment, right? And, I see it every day, Mike, and right now it's a tough time. Buyers, want yesterday's rates and sellers want yesterday's prices. So if you're a working professional that's not going to look you in the eye and say, listen, Bob, you can't list this for $6.99 or it's going to sit. It needs to be listed at $6.59. I know your neighbor sold for $6.60. Things don't continue to increase like they have in the past. That's gone, right? List at $6.59 if you want to sell this thing in the next 2 weeks. You're going to get 1 or 2 offers. You're going to pick from those. They're going to be $6.50 to $6.60, right? Or you get a bad agent who doesn't know, who's just doesn't, have enough confidence to say, anything that might lose in the listing. Okay. Oh, yeah, $6.99. We'll list at that, right? When it's not in the seller's best interest. So rant over. I'm close enough to it where I see stuff where I'm just the mortgage guy, right? But I'm around real estate agents and real estate transactions every single day. I see unnecessary pain on the consumer side by not having a professional connected to them.
I totally agree. Folks, and what I would tell you to do as an investor, your job is to have a buy box, daily discipline, know what average is, and only write great offers. The market may feel like a depression for real estate agents, may feel like a depression for mortgage brokers, but for investors, this is the time to write lots of great offers, and you will eventually get a yes answer. I'm ecstatic about the market we are heading to. Matt, how can people find you?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out that quick form, let us know where you're at, how we can help. We're in 46 of 50 states. We're more than happy to help. If you're serious about buying, you need to get pre-approved. If you're serious about refinancing, I would not wait, right? Mm-hmm. If it makes sense now, it's not going to make more sense 2 weeks from now. That pool of refinance candidates where it makes sense is shrinking. Me and my team are going to give you the honest truth. I said something to somebody the other day because they were talking about, they're aligned with how I think, right? About doing business the right way. And did over 80 million in refinance last year. I'm writing very little this year. It should tell you something about, how few people refinance truly makes sense for. And we're going to give you that honest answer, which I think is a lot more valuable than poking around online and typing in best mortgage rate online.
Yeah, if you're typing in best mortgage rate online, you're going to get got by one of those online body shops or whatever they're called, houses, and they're going to give you some song and dance and sell you a bad product. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Mike. Mm-hmm.